Hello everyone and welcome back to our European Journeyman series with Monaco. We're now midway through March. It's actually my birthday in the game. And we are probably about 3 episodes away from the end of our first season at Monaco after being unceremoniously dumped out of the Champions League by Manchester United 6-1 on aggregate, a real golfing class between us. We're also in a position where we've only won 2 of our last 7 matches, so we're going through a real tough period of form at the worst time, and that needs to recover today. I want to win against Montpellier and Stade de Reims because it would set us up very well in the league. We are still 3 points clear of PSG, who we play in our 3rd match of this episode in the Coupe de la Ligue final as we look to win our first trophy in France. We then take on AS Monaco. That is away from home, but they're a lower league team. I'm expecting us to reach quarterfinals without too much trouble. And then we take on Bastia and Stade Rennais in the league as well, leaving just 5 league games after that, finishing with an enormous game against PSG away from home that could decide the title. So it's so important we win all of our remaining league fixtures because we hopefully have the title sewn up before we even have to take on PSG. Now against Montpellier today, we're using the formation we'd usually use at home. I'm switching them around after the poor run of form, and I'm going to give this formation a try away from home. We're going to have Mbappe and Boris up front with Lamar just behind them. Pizzi, Castellano and Nikitovic in midfield 3 with Sidibe, Pereira, Vallejo and Fabinho in the back 4 and Nezovic in goal. Lamar's free kick outside the area and he's found the top corner. Lamar seems to be back to his best now and he's given us a lead. Castellano over to Pizzi. Now Boris slips it in and Lamar's got in and Lamar has tucked it in yet again for 2-0. Nikitovic with the ball. Now Lamar onto Pizzi. Nikitovic again finds Fabinho. He sends a cross into Boris. Pizzi out wide is Sidibe. Ball pulled back and Pizzi has an effort. He arrows it into the top corner for 3-0. Well, there's the full-time whistle and we are very comfortably dispatched with Montpellier. A 3-0 victory over our opponents, meaning we move at least, for now, 6 points clear at the top of the table once again. Today we're going to use the Newcastle home formation at home. We're going to start with Baptiste up top with Mbappe and Lamar on the wings. Castellano and Pizzi have Nikitovic backing them up with Zeka, Pereira, Vallejo and Fabinho the back 4. Nezovic in goal. It's just before the international break and obviously we're taking on PSG in the cup final after this, so I'm desperate to get a win and keep the morale high. Fabinho's won the ball. Here's Lamar running in from that right flank. He spreads it left to Zeka. He pulls it across to Castellano. Pizzi back to Nikitovic. There's Baptiste into Lamar who slots it in. That's goal number 30 for Thomas Lamar this season. Mbappe still on the ball. Does get tackled. Fabinho to Castellano. Mbappe again. His effort blocked, but Fabinho following up has put it wide. Gallard with the ball in. Nezovic comes to claim it. Just 5 minutes or so left of the 90 minutes and added time on top of that. And this 1-goal lead is not entirely convincing. Stade de Reims only with 1 effort on target up to now, but that makes me dangerous. Nezovic could be complacent in goal. Fabinho's won the ball though. Here's Lamar. Starting to cut into the middle, but he's given it away. Luckily Emerson picks it up. Mbappe still going, he spreads it beautifully to Fabinho, volleys the ball in, it comes back out to Bakayoko. Pizzi to Fabinho again, who once again puts it in first time. Boris in there, can't finish it. Into the 90th minute, here's the throw in, it's put in on an early cross, Vallejo gets it clear, but there's Xavi who has scored an absolute worldie of an effort to make it 1-1, and we've got stoppage time alone to try and find a winner. Well, there's a full-time whistle. We've been absolutely done over there with that late equaliser. It means that we are 4 points clear, but PSG can close that gap down to just 1 point, and we are looking so shaky at the moment. Well, you might be able to see a pretty crazy thing on the screen. Apparently, the board have decided to award me a sum of £500 million to spend on new players and a new stadium. All I need to do is confirm to accept the unexpected bonus. Now, you might notice in the top right of the screen, it's the 1st of April in the game. While I'm recording this, it's also the 1st of April in real life. I've recorded ahead of time, so I've got a very busy week as this is sort of going out. And I am not expecting anything to come of this, inevitably. But let's click accept. There you go, April Fool. SI love putting little Easter eggs in like that. So you might also notice if you play the game on Christmas Day and play through Christmas Day at the real time, you'll get a nice message. Quite often when real things link up in the game with real life, you will get little messages like that come up. It would have been nice if they'd actually given us £500 million though, wouldn't it? But it is worth noting we did get our budget through because we qualified for the Champions League, and we've got another 400 grand to spend on wages and £91 million in the transfer budget. So we can definitely do some strengthening of the squad in the summer. Well, here is the Coupe de la Ligue final. We're taking on PSG for the first time since our first game at the club. I feel like we're a stronger team since then, and with this formation I think that we're in with a decent chance of beating them. It's going to be tough without Thomas Lemar, who's been overused on international duty and will only be able to play in the second half. I'll probably bring him on early in the second half, but I don't want to play him from the start just in case we're chasing a goal, and then I might have to take him off. So I'd rather it was the other way around. We're going to play with Baptiste leading the line and Bernardo Silva and Mbappe on the wings. Castellano and Bakayoko are backed up by Nikitovic, with Sidibe, Emerson, Vallejo and Pereira the back four, Nezovic in goal. Sidibe sends the ball in. There's Castellano to Nikitovic, Bakayoko to Pereira, who was quite high up the pitch. He is playing at right back today. Icardi out wide to Koric. Inside to Lucas Moura, who has put the ball in to give PSG the lead. It's 1-0 and we've got work to do. Vallejo's free kick onto Emerson. Now Nikitovic to Bakayoko. Bernardo Silva skips a tackle, cuts inside, crowded out by 4 PSG players. We're yet to have a shot on target in this game. It's not been good enough with 60% possession. Here's Vallejo, who's lost the ball to Mauro Icardi. What is he doing? Emerson with a cruncher of a tackle. Here's Rabiot. Now Verratti. Back to Marquinhos. Pellegrini. Cutting in from left back. Finds Icardi. Lucas Moura making the run. He's got inside. He's got off the woodwork. I thought he was going to pull it back. It would have almost certainly been a goal if he had. Instead he went for it and missed. Here's Emerson. On to Castellano. Sidibe cutting in. Finds Bakayoko. Castellano to Baptiste. Now Nikitovic. Bakayoko. Back on to Castellano. Baptiste in on goal. What has he done? He's missed it again. Sergio Aurier puts the ball in. Lo Celso loses it to Castellano here. Ball spread out to nobody there. That was a terrible ball. Koric. Into the middle for Lecao, and there's Icardi. It's saved and cleared away. We're still in with a chance. Pellegrini gives the ball away to Bakayoko, who gives it away again, and Icardi allowed in once more. Lucas Moura now. Will he cut it back? He does. Koric arriving has hit the woodwork, and Sidibe clears it away. We're hanging on by a thread. We still haven't had a shot on target. Well, we're into the last 5 minutes of the game. We've finally had a shot on target, but it wasn't worth note. Now just 2 minutes of added time. It looks like we're not going to be able to break PSG down. We've not been at the races at all today. I think Thomas Lemar not being available has been a huge hindrance. There's the full-time whistle. We've been beaten in the final by PSG. And we miss out on our first bit of silverware at the club. It's really disappointing to lose that game because we just weren't playing well. There were only 3 shots on target in that entire match. And I don't know what was wrong with the team. I think Thomas Lemar being out was the big miss for us, but it means we've had to watch our rivals lift the trophy. And we now need to focus on the Coupe de France and the Ligue 1, which we are still leading at the moment by just 1 point from PSG. Well, we're looking to recover after that League Cup final defeat. We're taking on AS Monaco in the quarterfinal of the French Cup. We should be winning this. They're a lower league team. I'm still going to put out a strong squad because I want to make sure that we do go through, especially away from home. Baptista, Mbappe and Lemar are the three up front, with Castellano, Pizzi and Bakayoko in the middle. Zeka, Pereira, Vallejo and Fabinho the back line, with Nezovic in goal. Pizzi puts the ball in. Comes out to Mbappe. He finds Pizzi again. Ball slipped into Lemar. Pulls it back to Mbappe, who finds the top corner. An excellent finish to break down AS Monaco. Mbappe to Castellano. Now Pizzi. Ball out to Mbappe. Still on the run. Loses the ball in a tackle, but Pizzi follows up. Finds Lemar. Back to Bakayoko. Castellano to Mbappe. Mendy cuts it out. Gives it straight to Zeka though. Castellano to Pizzi. To Lemar. Beats the defender and has hit the woodwork. Bologna puts it in to Bo Carne. Now it's spread out wide to Guy. Skips the tackle. Puts it across. Mbappe's won the ball, but it's straight off to Basili. Cisse forward. It's Lemar on the ball now. Cutting in from the right, finds Baptista. Ball back to Pizzi. Castellano finds Lemar, who goes for goal. What a strike that is from Lemar. Cutting in, spinning the defender, and firing a left-footed finish into that far post. Bologna puts the ball over the top. Lasme in behind. Still going Lasme, and he's managed to find a gap as well. And with 15 minutes to go, it's 2-1. Corner from Bernardo. Cleared back to him. There's Castellano, and he's managed to squeeze it in. There's a deflection in there as well. It's 3-1, and our place in the semis are all booked up. There's the full-time whistle. We have bounced back with a win against lower league opposition. There was a little scare in there, but we managed to see it through in the end, and we've put ourselves into the semi-finals of another competition. Here is the semi-final draw for the Coupe de France. Obviously, we're going to try and avoid PSG if we can, but it might be better to face them now than in another final. The first team out of the hat is PSG, and they are going to play Stade de Reims, which means that we are taking on Marseille from the away side. I don't know if we're playing at Marseille at the Stade Velodrome or if we will be in a neutral venue, but it's going to be difficult, and it sets up the opportunity for another final with PSG. After getting into the semi-finals of the French Cup, we're now taking on Bastia away. It's going to be a tough game. I'm going to stick with the same formation that won the last match. It's mostly the same players that won the last game as well. In fact, I don't think there's any changes whatsoever as we look to get 3 points on the board and hopefully build up a new gap at the top, because that gap is only 1 point at the moment. Ball down the line there for Romain. He puts it inside to Ribbelin, and there's Augustin who's hammered it into the top corner, and we are losing away to Bastia. Pereira forward to Castellano. Now Baptista puts it in behind for Mbappe, who's got into the box. It's saved. Lemar follows up, and we are back on terms. Lemar with the free kick outside the area. It's deflected and goes into the back of the net, and Thomas Lemar has single-handedly turned this around. Well, there is the full-time whistle. We've managed to come back thanks to Thomas Lemar and get the 3 points that we desperately needed. It means that we are now 4 points clear, 6 games left to play, but PSG still with that game in hand. Well, the final match of this episode is at home against Stade Rennais, and we have had a huge slice of fortune because PSG were beaten at home by Saint-Etienne. So if we win this game, we will move 4 points clear with 5 games to go, and I would back us to win the title from there. So let's hope we can get the 3 points. We're trusting Lemar to hopefully put in another world-class performance. He's alongside Mbappe, who's been pretty anonymous recently, and Baptista, who's up top. Castellano and Pizzi are joined by Fabinho in the middle, with Zeka, Pereira, Vallejo and Sidibe the back four, and Nezovic in goal. Mbappe puts the ball forward for Baptista, who hasn't scored since returning from his lung injury layoff, and he's put that one wide as well. Moutinho's free kick, edge of the area, and it's gone in off Hassan. It hit the woodwork, hit his head, and went into the back of the net. We have been so good from free kicks this season. Costa with a throw. Lamar's intercepted it and found Baptistao. He puts it into Moutinho. Ball played back to Vallejo. Fabinho. Over to Pereira. He finds Zeka. Ball into Mbappe. Moutinho to Baptistao. Back to Vallejo. Now Moutinho tries to spread it. It's come for Lamar though. He plays it back. Ball into Castellano. Slip to Mbappe. Steps past the player but is brought down in the penalty area. Fabinho missed his last penalty for the team, but hopefully he won't miss this one. He steps up and finds the bottom corner for 2-0. Entep bringing the ball down the right. It's now with Malé. On to Ducour. Andre finds Malé. Entep. Ball to the right back. Entep can swing it in and he's found Pires. There were 4 of them in the box there who could have scored that, but it's Anthony Pires who scores on his debut and makes it 2-1. Well, there is the full-time whistle. We have extended our lead at the top to 4 points with just 5 games left to play. We're on 82 points now. 15 more would put us on 97. We are looking very, very good for the title with 4 games to go. And it means that if we win our next 4 games, if we win our next 4 games, we will be guaranteed the title and we'll go to Paris to pick it up regardless of the result of that game. But it does leave us a bit of breathing room. Ultimately, we could probably lose 2 games, I think. Yes, we could still lose 2 games between now and that match against PSG at the final day and still win the title if we beat them. So we're in a very good position to give ourselves the most opportunities to wrap up this title. Next episode, we will have the Coupe de France semi-final against Marseille. We'll also take on Saint-Etienne, Nice and Tours, finishing up with Bordeaux there, who, if we beat, we will become the French champions. So if we can win those 4 games, we will be champions of France. We'll also take on PSG, so we will wrap up the league season in the next episode. If we make the final of the Coupe de France, I think I will do that as a special live com episode, and then we can do our season review at the same time. But that is going to be it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on the video, but until next time, see ya!